Hey everybody, who's your Jedi here with another review for you. This time talking episode 12 of season 3 of The Flash, Untouchable. And this was a reasonably solid episode. A little bit too much villain of the week, but yeah, what can you do? So speaking of villain, the bad guy this time around, Clive, whatever. I the name sounds vaguely familiar. I think it's maybe a character I've heard of in the comics, but I don't think I've ever read anything with his counterpart there. And I don't really have a whole lot to say about this. Just all in all, the character really wasn't a very impressive villain. Like he appears to have killed his previous victims, like the chef and the musician guy, by just sort of conning them into shaking his hand. But when he goes after Joe, he just walks into the coffee shop, announces, "Hey, I'm basically here to kill you," and that proceeds to blow up in his face. Seriously, this guy couldn't have come up with some other way to take Joe out. Seriously, if he couldn't have found a way to con him into shaking his hand as well, or heck, just find Joe walking down the street, walk up past him, grab his hand, and run. What's Joe gonna do? And the whole thing when, okay, they use the arms to knock York Clive through the window, and then in the time it takes them to run down there, he's managed to disappear. The guy does not have speedster powers. He's not going to have vanished that quickly. That's kind of ridiculous. So yeah, I wasn't too impressed by the guy this episode. There was definitely some nice character stuff going on. It was nice seeing Caitlin and Julian bouncing off of each other a little bit here. And I really like how Caitlin is like, wow, now I get why Barry complains about what a jerk you are all the time. And yet, in the course of this episode, they both sort of take turns trying to assuage the other's guilt. Or uncomfortable. Caitlin is all like, look, you're not really to blame for all that stuff that Alchemy did. And Julian steps in there and says, look, Killer Frost is not who you really are. You can fight this. You can win. So it does kind of make sense that ultimately, at the end of the day, there does seem to be some implied stuff going on between these two. They do have a very unique situation where they're in a very special position to understand this really weird and terrible thing that the other is going through. So it's not unreasonable that they might have some sparks might fly there. Yeah, I'm not super crazy about this, but I'm willing to roll with it and see where it goes. And it is also interesting that Julian has figured out that there's one more meta that Dr. Alchemy created floating around out there. Now, who that is, what they're up to, well, we're just going to have to wait and see. I definitely did like that they're not letting the whole Joe has a new girlfriend thing fall into the background. Watching the police lady and her daughter sort of debate whether or not the Flash or Kid Flash is cooler right there in front of Wally and Barry. And I love how they went and really put Joe on the spot. It's like, Joe, who do you think is cooler, the Flash or Kid Flash? I mean, it's kind of a dick thing to do, but you can tell that they were just mostly doing that just to mess with it. Let's see, what else? Well, I also really liked that speech that Barry gives to Wally towards the end of the episode, where he talks about, look, I've been letting you coast on your raw talent, and you've got plenty of it. And, in all fairness, this is true, and it's good that Barry realizes this. But I like that little speech he gave about being a teacher, and about how it's really about kind of inspiring the person you're trying to teach. Now, as I've mentioned in a number of other reviews, I'm a teacher myself. That's my job. I teach English in Japan. And I've taught in America as well, and in South Korea. So, this is what I've chosen to do with my life. And that's what Barry says is exactly right. It's not about just supervising people doing repetitive stuff, as unpleasant as it might be, until they get the hang of it. It's not about just dumping information on them or showing them how to do things, although undeniably that is also part of being a teacher. The real thing about being a teacher is finding a way to inspire your student to dig down inside themselves and find that that potential within them that they might not have even realized existed. That that whole confidence to believe in themselves, a willingness to try, all of that and more. And it's not always easy. But when you can pull it off, when you can do that, what you can help someone do, what you can help them achieve, is amazing. And it's what makes the job of being a teacher so satisfying. I mean, it is a hard and at times painfully thankless job, believe you me. But when you get those moments where somebody goes out there and is actually able to succeed at something they didn't think they could pull off, then man, oh man, it makes it all worth it. It makes it all worth it. And in a lot of ways, that's also kind of what's so great about superheroes. Like, particularly my favorite superhero, Superman. You know, there's that speech from the old Superman movie from the 70s, from that, Marlon Brando, Christopher Reeves, and all that other stuff, where Jor-El says, "They can be a great people, Kal-El. They only lack the light to show them the way." And I think that's true for superheroes, is that especially the heroes of the DC universe, who I've always thought really embodied those higher ideals slightly better than the Marvel heroes always have. That, truth and justice. In all fairness, Superman kind of dropped the American way thing back in the 1980s. Because boy, oh boy, was that a tough thing to justify in Ronald Reagan's America. Then again, look at where we are right now. But anyway, the idea that you do good because it's the right thing to do, that you should treat life as sacred, that you shouldn't kill bad guys no matter how much it might seem like they deserve it, because that's not your place. It's not your place to decide who lives and who dies, who is worthy of life. That is not a decision that any of us should hopefully ever find ourselves in. Although life does not always allow us that luxury. But nonetheless, playing God, being judge, jury, and executioner, these are not things that make us better people. And just having that really great example of here is what it really means to be a good person. Here is what it means to really stick to those high ideals. I know I'm not the only person out there who's really taken inspiration from that in their life, even knowing that no matter what, we'll often fall short. But that's the thing about ideals. They're ideals. They're not easy to achieve, but they are worthy things of being pursued. And yes, a lot of times when we're pursuing our ideals, we drop the ball. We make a bad choice. We make the selfish choice, the foolish choice. But not always. Sometimes, when we're presented with those choices, we look within ourselves and to the people, real and fictional, who inspire us, who make us want to be our best selves. And we make the right choice. And one of the great things about The Flash, and they showed that in the War of Light crossover, is that Barry is a hero who excels at that. That's why he was able to become a Blue Lantern, who has the ability to inspire hope. The ability to inspire hope and goodness, to help us achieve what's our true potential. These are things that are all within our capabilities as human beings. You don't have to be superheroes to do these things. You don't even have to be a teacher to do that in another person. All you have to do is be willing to take a look at them as a human being. Put yourself in their shoes. And really actually believe in them. Really believe that this other person can do this thing. That this other person can make the right choice. And yeah, if you do that, sometimes it's not going to work out. Sometimes they'll fail, sometimes they'll make the wrong choice. But you really would be amazed at what can happen when somebody has somebody who's willing to believe in them, even just a little bit. And now Barry's putting everything on the line. Iris is betting it all on his belief that Wally can rise to the challenge. And it's not going to be easy, but Barry believes in it, and his sister's life is on the line. So really, do any of us doubt for a moment that Wally's going to find it for himself to do what he needs to do? To show that one day he's going to be the one people call the fastest man alive? Okay, guys, I'm going to call it here. As always, please comment, rate, and subscribe, and of course you can follow me on Twitter at Hoosier Jedi, and please also join me on Tumblr at Jedi Reviewer. Until next time, take care and have a good one.